Penis.
Well, penis indeed. Welcome back, everyone, to Currents of War, our third Fabula Ultima campaign set in Midgehheim. Taking place during the Fourth Goblin War, which is roughly 15 years before Wizard School Mysteries, for those of you who are fans of my beloved, by a few people, Wizard School Mystery series. Anyways, last time on Currents of War, our 5 plucky heroes went to the town of Cabernet. Not Cabernet. First, they went to the town of Bourgeois, where they discovered the town has been occupied by the Bretonche Goblin Slayer army. And they met a young woman named Johanna Dupree, who was basically planning to kill the Bretonche soldiers in their sleep, and our heroes are like, fuck yeah, let's do it. And they did. Only for reinforcements to arrive and the situation to escalate in a way that they had not anticipated. Our plucky friend Johanna Dupree led the army away, allowing our heroes to escape, reconvene in the town of Cabernet, specifically in the house of Johanna's family, her father, stepmother, and half-sister. When they arrived in Cabernet, the entire city had been razed to the ground, including the house of Johanna's family, with both her parents dead, but her sister miraculously alive. Our heroes waited for Johanna to show up, but it quickly became clear that Johanna would not arrive before trouble did, and our heroes went off into the woods to try that's relatively safer, or at the very least to continue their quest to warn the goblin leaders of Francaine that war was coming for them. On the way to the next closest town, Alsace, they were accosted by a lion in the forest of Arden. After slaying the lion, they were approached by a hunter with leather armor, who introduced himself as Philippe Talbot. And noting that they had killed the lion he himself had been hunting, told them to follow him, as he would make sure they were properly rewarded for their service to the country. And that is where we are now, making our way out of the woods with Margot Dupree Margot of Francaine at this point, and Philippe Talbot, making our way to Alsace. So, do you do much of this lion hunting?
No, this was an accident.
No, it's normally it's the lions trying to hunt me, and me running away.
I suppose I should have guessed. Normally, the professional hunters do not bring their children in tow. At least not until they are significantly greater in age.
Now tell me there, Philippe. Would you describe lion hunting as a lucrative business?
The hunting of beasts in general can be very lucrative, depending on who needs something taken care of at the given moment. Generally, I go for small towns and farmers, but many a hunter will instead approach the nobility, find out which creatures are giving them problems. It's dragon slayers in particular seem to work for those who bear crowns.
That makes sense, but I'd imagine the death rate, the turnover at this workplace must be pretty high, though, wouldn't you say?
It is true. It is true. The greenhorns, they tend not to make it very long. You either get good at the game, or the game gets you.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I take it by the cut of your clothing you are a merchant?
Ah, right you are.
Well, you may wish to go to the Hunters Guild even without the lion. You'll find that we often have quite many rare things to sell, depending on what the hunts have given us.
Interesting. Interesting.
His eyes keep flickering to the kid. I do not mean to pry, but the child does not look very similar to any of you.
That's because we kidnapped her, right, kid? Ruffle her hair.
She nods and laughs.
No, it's more like a Cabernet. There's gonna be needs to be some updates to some maps because Cabernet's not there really.
I thought I saw smoke coming from that direction. This is
The
troubling news.
Bretonche decided they didn't like how many goblins were living among them.
Another goblin war?
Another goblin war.
You would think they would have their fill out of the last one.
You'd hope.
That's never how it works.
Goblin War. Terrible for business, I tell you. Terrible.
I'm sorry, but I just had this moment of art just looking at the camera at that. It's just like, yep, you're telling me, buddy.
It's you think they would have learned by now. How many times we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
Yes. We shall have to decide what to do about that. But once we have food and lodging, and with that, you guys finally make it to the town of Alsace. There are a few different locations to visit in this medium-sized town. There's a market district that runs right through the center. Yeah. There is the archery range, although it's not just for archery, it's sort of an all-purpose weapon range. There's the Temple of the Sun, the Sinus Inn, and the Hunters Guild, a playhouse, a carpenter, and an herbalist.
Not gonna lie, it took me a second to realize, oh, plays like actual plays, not like Playhouse as in Kiddie Park.
Yeah, there's a
Jungle Gym.
McDonald's. There's a McDonald's play place right here.
Perfect for the
They're
kid,
cur-
right?
They're currently repainting Mayor McCheese, but the constable burger head, I forget what his name is, jail cell is still intact.
Jungle James.
What was the name of the burger policeman?
Nobody remembers the burger policeman.
I'll Google it.
The hamburger survived him. I almost said hamburger, but that's a completely different thing. The harm burglar.
A harm burglar.
Officer Big Mac.
That's right.
That's a name you can still throw around.
God,
Awesome.
start calling police that instead of pigs. Pigs don't deserve it.
Yeah. Also, this is sort of terrifying. Fucking
Yeah. Shove a child in there. That's some harm. That is some fucking boggle shit right there.
Yeah.
What even is that?
Put baby inside patty mouth.
That's the horrible child jail. No, worse. It's too small for a child. It's gotta be horrible baby jail.
Baby jail.
Anyways, back on track. We have a limited amount of time. Not to cut the fun short, as God knows I love tangents. So, where would we like to hit first? Probably not the inn, but we got a market district, hunters guild, temple, playhouse, carpenter, herbalist, archery range.
Well, we came in to turn in the bounty, so we probably should follow Mr. Talbot to where the bounty must be turned in.
Mhm.
That's a good point. Don't wanna miss the chance to collect that cash.
All right. So we stop at the hunters guild first.
Aye.
All right. Where the hell is this in my outline? So stepping into the Hunters Guild, Philippe opens the door, at which point, upon seeing him, several of the hunters there all raise their steins and cheer. He holds up his hands as if to pat down the applause. Like, please, please, I'm only here to present some shining stars in our field, some new faces who have brought down a significantly dangerous animal. And then he, with a very grand sweep of his duster jacket and little capelet over his shoulders, presents all of you with your lion. Margot is in the back playing with its tail. Because kids don't understand the concept of reverence for corpses because they don't understand what death is fully.
Ah.
The hunters approach, and if you were expecting a bunch of rich old guys talking about sport and the pleasure, this is not that sort of hunters guild. These are all very much salt of the earth types, peasants and merchants at best, who have who have gotten good at working in the woods and stalking animals like as the way animals stalk each other. And do the trade for survival rather than for fun and prestige.
So the opposite of the last game's Hunter's Lodge.
Yes. Then begin examining the. Yep, that's the beast, all right. Look, cracked tooth. See, that's why it's acting out of turn. Yes, the poor creature most likely exiled from its pack, forced to hunt alone, and so it preys on easy targets, human travelers going through the forest about their business.
Shame there's no beast dentistry.
It is true. If there were a way to take care of the animals better, we'd have less of these conflicts, but then there would be less work for us, eh, gentlemen? Speaking of, the bounty of the Alsace Alden Lion was, what again? 75,000 gold pieces, or zenit in in-game currency. Thank you, also, I don't understand what that last edition was about.
Ooh.
So the party has, 7,500 zenit to blow.
Ooh.
Well, well, well.
How much was it? Oh, there's 75,000.
So
100.
So that's like roughly 1,000.
There are 5 of us?
1,500 each.
1,500 zenit each.
Unless anyone wants me to manage their funds.
Not a terrible payday for session 3, I don't think.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly.
Especially since we didn't have to buy any of the equipment from the last town.
As the line is taken, and they take it to a butcher's to process it properly. Many of the hunters clap you on the back. One's like, so
Oh.
what are you specializing in? Are you beast hunters or bird hunters, dragon hunters? They are hobbyists. This was a stroke of luck in some extent, although still, I think, expertly done despite the new approach.
Yeah, this really is quite lucrative.
Oh, Grugan. Oh,
Uh-huh.
sorry.
What do you think about us looking for another one of these hunts? We could make quite a pretty penny.
There is an active military marching that is bound to march upon the town within 2 days.
If we find the time, that might be something. If we're in the area, perhaps.
Hunters look up. What? Yes. We shall. This is as a subject I thought I would talk about tonight's meeting. There is occupying army in some of the towns to the south.
Ratanch burned Cabernet to the ground.
Oh Lord! And one of the hunters took off their hand and said, "Did you say Cabernet?"
Unfortunately.
My wife's there. Oh God, I've got to go. Probably. Nope. He's already out the door. Okay. And immediately the happy mood of the guild hall like sinks as everyone is sort of torn with the news. Fleep slaps his lips together and is like, so we'll let you ruminate on that, and perhaps later we can discuss a plan. At which point he just sort of moves you guys all out the door.
That's fair.
Closes the guild doors. Okay, so we probably don't want to break the news quite that harshly to any other villagers in town. A softer approach, perhaps.
Fine. So I was going to ask if Grigan, if you wanted to keep that main for, trophy or.
I wouldn't have anywhere to put it. Probably a good thing to travel light for now. Less for me to lose.
Yeah, and I don't think I'd be carrying it. That thing, that just the main would be like, I could turn that into a tent. Very
Duck,
fuzzy
you feel a tug at your pants. You look down and you see Margot's looking up at you. There were bones in there.
Yeah, we got bones in us too.
Do you think they'd let us have some?
Looks to Talbot. Do you think maybe she could get one of the claws?
What would you like, little child? Claws? Funny bone? Skull! I want a skull! Okay. Any particular animal? A scary one! Okay, I will get you a scary skull. 2 seconds, and he pops into the guild. And 45 seconds later, he comes out with a wolf skull and gives it to her.
This is a pretty good one.
Yeah. Children are weird.
He's been through a lot recently, so.
And you see her holding the skull, looking at it from every angle, and then miming having it go out and bite people.
Duck gestures for Talbot to lean down because he's much taller than Duck is. even in human glamour, and being like,
Mm-hmm.
just kind of discreetly go, we kind of rescued her from her burning home. Her parents didn't make it, so anything to keep her distracted is good.
That is another problem we had to find an answer for.
Her sister's
Oh.
supposed to meet us, but that's
Is she also in the south? There may be an army waylaying her.
yeah. We kind of got split up, but we were supposed to meet together and at Cabernet, but the army moved faster than we thought too.
They had probably already moved into her town before we even got to where we met her sister.
Perhaps some
fair.
full bellies would help us. Let us hit the market, see if they have anything cheap and easily digestible.
Those are some good words to throw together.
I fucking love you sleazebag. All right. So you guys arrive in the market space of Alsace. 3 vendors in particular catch your eye. There is a booth with blue curtains, a booth with violet, like sort of red apple curtains, and a booth with green curtains.
Where would you guys like to go? I'm not picky.
Flavian's eyes narrow at looking at all of them. Oh no.
Competition.
There is a look of recognition at the merchant at the purple curtained booth. He's a jolly looking man in sort of a pale lavender, fancy jacket with a much more bright fuchsia shirt and a silly little foppish hat. Hey, Flavian! It's good to see you, man! Flavian, you remember it's me! Pierre! Pierre Redstein!
Pierre, how great to see you again.
Flavian! Oh, it's so good to see a familiar face. How have you been? I can't remember the last time we were both at the same market stand. Where's your cart?
I'm traveling light.
Oh.
No,
I can see that. Sometimes you don't need a whole big cart full of stuff. Sometimes you just need a few good products. Ain't that right, Flavian?
Yes, that's true. What brings you here?
Oh, not much. I was, with you left, to do the thing that Ross said, the secret scheme. I guess he always phrases things in a way that I find personally uncomfortable. And he was like, "Hey, you want to go to Alsace and sell some wares?" And I was like, "Yeah, without my pal Flavian, who else am I gonna sell with?" And so we're both here, and he's making quite a killing. I'm doing all right.
Yeah, the people here are not super keen on your what you got here.
Well, I've got a few good products. I've got this one, and you see a tunic, somewhat crudely patched together out of fox fur. It's a very good tunic, It's got nice leather on the inside and this very soft fox fur. It'll sell for quite a lot. And I've got this, and he holds up a jacket with the wettest looking leather you've ever seen. In fact, you're not entirely sure it's not literally dripping.
Ew.
Yeah, it's a very unique material. I'll be honest. I actually was talking to paying a good amount for it to hawk it to someone else. So I'm a little worried about the profit margins on this one, but still, it's a very unique piece. And then I've got this one. Look, it's got little snake heads, and it's this jacket made out of snake skin that does have like these shoulder pads that look sort of like viper heads. And this, and he holds up like a wooden monster mask, and this too, and it's a very nice looking belt.
Really quite the wares you got there, Pierre.
Yeah, just trying to make ends meet. Do a nice good sale. It's it's a little slim picking so far, but I'm sure it'll pick up. And hey, you were always the master at hawking. Maybe you could help me press the flesh a little bit here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, he is your friend.
A small glare. Fabian gives Arthur.
Arthur, who is still in his disguise with the mask still up, you can just see the movement of the shit-eating grin growing bigger.
At the very least, you can help this guy so he doesn't go into rock bottom. Because he seems like a very nice gentleman.
Well, tell you what, if you're interested in any of my stock, let me know. But please feel free to check other people. I stand by my stock, and if it's appealing to you, I'm sure you'll come back.
Yeah, well, no, that's half the battle in merchantry, Pierre. Just having a good attitude about it all.
That's right, a good attitude and persistence.
Yeah.
Just like immediate step over and over.
Flavian! Comes a sing-song voice from the green.
Flavian shudders a little
Green
bit.
booth.
Ross.
Flavian!
Ross.
Oh, Flavian, my greatest number 2. Dude, went the whole orc thing.
It's an investment. It's an investment, you know?
You gotta make those if you want to pay off big in the future, am I right or am I right? I'm just glad that you didn't end up with your head on a stick. That'd be the most embarrassing thing, seeing as I was the one who gave you the idea. So, it's so good to hear. I noticed you're a little, short on, wares to hawk, though. Oh, by the way, everyone get a Fabula point for, sharing a scene with a villain today.
Oh, the
Yeah.
rival.
It's the rival.
Of course, your rival's the Onceler.
Yeah.
I didn't even make that connection.
Sick.
He does explicitly have Onceler gloves. That's a part of his design. Book Onceler gloves, by the way, not that fucking Ed Helms bastard.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking shit.
Fucking Tumblr twink
I mean, you're
face
still
ass.
hiding his face like the book Onceler.
Mm-hmm. You know, I'm actually really interested that you stopped here instead of going straight to Champagan, given who's there.
Who's there?
Oh. You don't even know? Oh, that's too much. That's too rich, Flavian. I would figure you, of all people, would know exactly who's in Champagan right now. He is. I mean, you talk about him all the time. It's your dad.
He's
I mean, do your friends know that your dad is George Garfield, son of the greatest dragon slayer in all of Midgard? Right? greatest living dragon slayer too, so they say.
Forget about it, Ross. What are they doing there?
Oh, it's really interesting. They showed up in Champagne a couple days ago, maybe even a full week. I know time flies when you're making lots of money. And they're there with a whole bunch of their army. Seems they're doing one of those goblin wars again. I guess they haven't committed enough genocide recently and thought they gotta up their quota. You know how quotas are. And I guess they're trying to get permission. They sent your dad, your dear old beloved dad, who I'm sure is just on pins and needles before he can meet his beloved long-lost son. Your younger brother, I guess, George the Third, is there too, and then some guy from Heorotshire, you know, the northern Bretons kingdoms there too. They're all famous dragon slayers, real beloved mercenary types, who are there to sort of court the nobility of Francaine to try and make this whole goblin war a bit more sanctioned than the last one. And they can get the Knights of Amorgal on board. I guess they feel that they'll be in less trouble for all the raising and the pillaging and whatnot.
So you're saying they're on the side of Bretons, huh? I suppose that makes sense.
But hey, I mean, you should be ecstatic. A great reunion is upon you. All you gotta do is take like a day's journey up north and bam! You and Dad finally seeing each other again after all this time!
Yeah.
Yeah! You're not gonna go looking like that, are you? Yeah. I mean, those outfits, that's a good merchant outfit, but like, this is the son of George Garston I, a man of myth and legend. I'm pretty sure you want to look a little more presentable.
All right, Ross, cut to the chase. What do you got for sale?
Woo! Nothing in your price range as it is, I'm sure, but I'll tell you what. I've heard a couple rumors that in the nearby forest there's some ugly people, if you will, some walking corpses.
Glance at Arthur.
Some revenants specifically. Now the fact of the matter is, a revenant hand is really useful in a certain magic item I've been trying to build a stock of. So if you were to perhaps collect a few of those for me, I think I could probably give you a pretty good discount or exchange rate.
You're making Hands of Glory?
What do you know about Hands of Glory?
You know about Hands of Glory.
I know that they fetch a pretty penny, my good chum. And I know that I want those pennies. So yeah, just get me some revenant hands, and I could line your coin purse real nice, and then you could sneak into Champagne, go to one of their real fancy tailors, and make sure that when you see dear old Dad, you look like a man of fine breeding. Not that you're not a fine breeding. I've seen your mother.
Oh, Jesus.
Art's gonna lean in behind Flavian and like, do you want me to stab him? I know we're in town, but I could stab him.
Duck leans in from the other side. Do you want me to rob him blind?
The latter for sure.
Okay.
Oh my god.
I'll be with the kid if you need me. Do.
Muncher. Oh,
You're
sorry.
saying we do these revenant hands, huh?
Yeah. Oh, we'll say if you get me, for every hand you bring me, I'll pay you 200 zenith.
Yeah.
Think about that. That's 400 per revenant, provided they have 2 hands apiece.
That's true. And I suppose I do have some capable party members.
Yeah, you seem to be with a whole band of real fucking weirdos. And when that happened?
They're my people. You know, more investments.
Yeah, my mentor always said that if you want to get something done, find some real fucking social misfits and rope them into doing things for you. So I think you're taking things really well. Really, really taking that advice I've given you that was given to me to heart.
Yeah. All right. Well, then I'll see you again with those hands.
And I'll have a nice fat payday for you. You fucking sucker.
He's the worst.
Muncher just looks at Ross. How much would it be to punch you in the face?
That's a very interesting proposition. How do you feel about having your hand fall asleep?
But would I still be able to punch you in the face?
Tell you what you got on offer?
I got a lion skull. And he just pulls out a completely different lion skull from his jar.
Shit, that's lion with a Y. Yeah, okay, I'll take it.
Alright. And Muncher just gives him a right deck in the snaz.
So when your fist goes into the shadowy void that makes up most of his head, right between the glowing green dots, or rather forcing the glowing green dots that are his eyes, maybe, to separate farther so your fist can go in, you feel a deathly cold chill, unlike anything you've ever felt. It's not wet, but it's damp, like when you stick your hand in an open freezer, but way more extreme. And when you pull your hand out of his head, it is that horrible feeling when a limb of yours has fallen asleep and there's that sort of needle feeling when you move it.
Muncher just looks at his hand and looks at him. It's bullshit.
Yeah, I've got the shadow rot, so there's really not a whole lot of substance in here.
It's bullshit that I can't punch you in the face.
Yeah, I know, but hey, free lion skull, right?
Yep. Alright.
Yeah.
Good day. Muncher just goes back to the group.
How dare you let him get the last laugh on us?
Don't worry.
Okay, Grayson is blanking on it. What is the name of the little girl again?
Margot.
Margot, okay. Art will approach Margot and be like, "Hey Margot, you want to go check out the fortune teller?"
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Alright, just hold my hand, just so you don't get lost. Not that I'm the most worried about that, but...
You approach a booth with a crude sign that says fortune, but otherwise it's a very stellar construction with these beautiful velvet blue curtains, and a symbol of an eye surrounded by two blue feathery wings. Sitting at the booth is a woman dressed entirely in blue robes, with these two sort of well, not really two. This sort of it's sort of like a scarf, like this long shawl, this long thin shawl that sort of snakes and drapes down over her shoulders into strands, with blue hood over her head and a very pale blue mask covering her face, which is otherwise completely shielded by an impenetrable darkness. You cannot see her eyes beneath the mask or her neck beneath the hood. It's just darkness beneath there. Which, after seeing Ross, it's not that strange. Lots of people have whatever that is. She looks at you all and says, "Hello, travelers. Would you like a free fortune reading?"
Sure. I'm down for it. Well, Margot, do you want a free fortune reading? Probably should be yours first.
She looks up tentatively and nods her head.
Yeah.
Excellent. A simple reading, if you will. 3 cards per person. 1 detailing your past, 1 your present, and 1 your potential future. Who would like to go first? And before you can volunteer her, she holds up a hand and says, "The child we shall save for last."
Well, it was my idea. And I'm admittedly a little bit curious to see what you got to say, so I guess I'll go first if no one minds.
She shuffles the deck between her very pale hands. They're covered in skin like human hands, but they have a sort of ghastly yellow paleness to them. And she pulls out 3 cards face down. The back of the card is purple with another eye symbol on it. She lifts up the first, and you see an image of a grim reaper, a skeletal figure in a black robe with a large scythe, swinging the scythe through a field of corpses as if it were a farmer sowing wheat or reaping wheat. Death. In this case, not a literal death, but a great and inescapable change. In the past, you were altered. The course of your life took a very deep and profound turn.
Mm-hmm.
She flips up the second card, and on it, sitting on a throne, is a man in resplendent clothes with a crown and a scepter. The Emperor, a man of action, leadership, stability. A friend who protects those that they care about. This is what you are or are becoming. Now your future. She flips up the last card, and you see a shining star with a friendly face hanging out in the heavens. The star. It is connected to the divine, a symbol of hope. The star is altruistic, aiming to bring peace and truth. Continue on your current course, and that may be what you bring to the world. A world with more peace, with truths that have been hidden finally revealed. But you must act with the altruism that the star represents.
Fair enough. All right, which one of you is next? Oh, hello?
You notice that Grugan's like hanging back. He's not even approaching this booth.
Yeah, same with Muncher.
You're gonna have to push if you want him to do his...
Grugan?
What?
You should do it. I did it. It got the answer that, at least for the past, right, pretty on the nose. So you should try it. Because they're going to read Margot's one too. And Margot probably wants to see what your fortune is, right, Margot?
She nods and smiles at you, Grugan.
Alright.
Childlike expectation in her face.
There's just a big sigh, and he walks up to the lady.
Yeah, Duck was hiding behind Grogan because she doesn't want to either.
She reshuffles the cards. Have no fear, this is a very mild form of prophecy. She passes out 3 cards. Your past first. And you see on the card is a figure in wizardly or godly robes, depending on how you want to interpret them. Bearing a sort of fancy hat and a very stern expression on their face as they give commands to underlings. The Hierophant or High Priest. A controlling authority that demands obedience. At one point, you were not the Hierophant yourself, but rather under the Hierophant's thrall. forced to follow an authority and obey it blindly. She unveils the second card, which shows another person in robes, this one holding a scale that is perfectly balanced. Justice. This is the righting of wrongs and the reaping of what one has sown. There is a great deal of injustice in your past, inflicted upon you and by you, that you must take account for now in your present. It is time to balance the scales. The third card depicts a small child holding a very large beast, one that looks to be a boar in this particular take on the card. This is the strength, which does not refer to the beast on the card, but rather the child holding its leash. The strength represents self-control, gentleness, and inner virtue overcoming brute force. It is the power of the mind, and in particular the heart, to subdue the violence of this world and the raw cruelty that surrounds us. Even if that cruelty comes from within.
He's in his human guise, so it's this twink standing there with the most graven expression you've ever seen on a human face before he just kind of turns on and walks off again.
Was that one bad? Margot asks Arthur.
So, about our friend Grugan, Grugan's not a big fan of their past, so this kind of pokes out some of their vulnerabilities. But I think in the long run, it'll do good. It's like medicine. Sometimes you gotta drink the bad tasting things to get better.
Oh. I like the card with the kid and the piggy.
I like that one too. It was a good picture. These are some really well illustrated cards.
Thank you. Hold them long enough and the pictures change.
Fair enough. Art
Who's
pokes his head back out saying, "Alright, who's next?" Monshare?
Duck shoves Flavian.
Alright. Ah. This will be a fun one. She shuffles the deck, pulls out 3.
Flavian?
Yep.
Okay.
I know this card well, and he turns the first card over, and it's the Fool, a jester with cap and bells walking along a road. Ah, the Fool. First of the Arcana in the Tarot deck, the major Arcana at any rate. Full of potential and optimism, symbolizing the unexpected. In the past, this was you. Person looking at the world half full of opportunities. Unfortunately, time since have taught you to be more cynical. She unveils the second card, which depicts the moon hanging in the sky with a sort of cruel expression. For you, the moon is deception and illusion, self-sabotage. Yet, the moon also represents creativity, journeys, a person's hidden side and true colors. You have seen much darkness in the world, and embodied some of it in yourself, but that need not be the case for the rest of your life. You are being put to the test. You are at the start of a very long journey. And through this journey, you shall discover who you truly are. At which point she unveils the third card, which is a person balancing 2 very heavy sacks. This is temperance. The balance between extremes, a card of prudence and harmony. Depending on what choices you make on your journey, what lessons you learn, the path of temperance may be yours to walk. A path not of excess, but of met needs. Where one is at peace with who one is and who one was.
I see. Well, that sounds like a lot of generic stuff that you could apply to basically anybody. But Art, you like collecting these cards. Go ahead and grab them.
Oh, I already did my reading. You're good.
Fine. I'll take them.
Well, you don't get to keep the cards, so don't know where you got that idea. So you're fine. Would you like a set? I think the jolly fellow next door has some.
Yeah. For reading this stuff,
It is simple tool, unlimited, but that is what makes the prophecies provided by these safer. To do a more complex reading invites a higher price to pay.
And I'm sure
Sorry,
you got a hard
3 more of
time
your merry
getting
band.
pay for this.
Okay.
Oh,
Art pokes his head once again back out of the tent. Alright, who's next? Mon cher? Duck?
I shall go if they will not.
Okay.
And Philippe strides into the tent. Hello, fortune teller. What can you tell me of my fortune? Ah, the great hunter. She shuffles her cards. And she lays one out. Oh, this is somewhat ironic, given how the last reading started. And she flips the card out, and it shows a map of Midgahheim. You begin with the world, which is the end of the journey of the Fool and the last of the major arcana. An odd beginning to a reading. A journey has already come and gone for you. Yet the wheel of fate ever turns, and where one journey ends, a new one begins. She flips the second card. The High Priestess, and you see a woman draped in the robes of a wizard or a witch, staring at various natural wonders. The High Priestess represents nature, Mother Earth, hidden knowledge, and intuition. Currently, you are a person who gains their knowledge and proficiency through study of the natural world, for uncovering the ways of what is wild and uncivilized, and through this you are given power, and yet not complete. She unveils the last card, which is 2 people standing in an Eden-like paradise wilderness, the sun smiling behind them. The lovers. This card is about the synthesis of opposites, about a new and desired relationship, which may or may not be romantic in nature, and a choice presented between comfort and risk. As you study nature, as you involve yourself with the natural world, you will be given the choice to go out of the bounds of what you normally do and how you normally relate to the world, or to stay securely within your normal behavior and possibly risk losing a very beneficial relationship should you cultivate it correctly. Huh. Well, that is a very interesting fortune. Thank you, madame. Your name is? I am a fortune teller. Quite so. Two more. Do not be afraid.
I am not going.
Yeah, all right. Duck waddles in.
Mon cher, if you go and do it for the little one, I will give you a finger bone to put in your jar.
Please respect my choice to not have my past delved into.
Okay.
Thank you.
She shuffles the cards. Ah. Now, I must warn you. Some of the cards are a bit upsetting when you first look at them and think of the implications of their name and illustration. But none of these cards are inherently bad or good news. They can all be interpreted a variety of ways. That said, she flips your first card over, and on the card is a horrible horned devil with big flapping draconic wings surrounded by hellfire and a black void with various mortals in chains screaming and howling in pain as it trods on their backs.
Duck squints. That's good, right?
Your past is represented by the devil, a figure of ambition and indulgence that lives for personal gain alone. This indicates that in the past you were defined particularly by your ambition, your desire to benefit yourself and increase your stance in life at all costs, regardless of how it may affect those around you. She unveils the second card, which depicts a man hanging upside down from a gallows, struggling with his arms tied behind his back. This is the Hanged Man. Notice how he is bound but not choking as he hangs from the gallows. If one could see behind his back, one would see that he is currently working at freeing himself from his bonds. The Hanged Man is the bindings that liberate us, the constraints that have been enforced upon us, which inadvertently lead us to discover new things about ourselves and new powers at our command. It is how we sacrifice aspects of ourselves to grow. The Hanged Man is in a precarious situation. He is being executed, and yet he is not dead. As such, the one who gains the Hanged Man in their present is surrounded by peril, and yet has the hope of rising far, far above the ashes that surround them. You are in an unmistakably dire situation. But there is hope that you may yet win. At that, she turns the last card, which presents a wheel with a smiling face for a spoke. On the ground, it is crushing a man in rich and fancy attire, while on top of the wheel there is a peasant laughing uproariously as he has been raised to the top of a social ladder. The Wheel of Fortune is your future. It is the inevitability of change, and the potential to upend one's circumstances for both good and ill. Whatever dire peril you face now, whatever curse hangs around your neck, you may yet twist and turn the tables so that it is you who is on top, and those that would see you driven before them who are ground into the dust.
How much for the big fortune?
She looks at you, and there's no eyes behind that mask, and the mask itself does not move, and yet you do feel sort of an almost maternal skepticism.
Beck
Like
pulls
when a
the
child
glamour
asks-
token off.
She
What was
folds.
that?
She tenses her hands and says, "It's not a matter of the price that you pay me. It's a matter of what you incur. The more details you ask for a fortune, the more complicated and concrete a prophecy is, the more magic turns on you when it is cast. I am currently giving you open-ended hints at how your current path may twist if you play it correctly. To set something in stone will incur a cost, and as those who have had further and more full prophecies can tell you, that cost is rarely what you're willing to pay." One curse follows you already. Do not incur another.
Yeah, Duck will silently reactivate the glamour and just walk out.
Well, okay then.
At this point, Grugan will come back in and, you know, kind of to be there for moral support when Margot wants to have her fortune read.
Margot comes up and she looks at the spooky blue lady and smiles the same giddy joy that you got from earlier when she found out you were all monsters and when she saw bones. There might be something just a little bit kinky about this girl's aesthetic preferences.
It's fine.
Hello, child. You're who I'm really here to see. She pulls out 3 cards and places them. This first card is your past. And on the card there is a beautiful woman in resplendent royal clothes sitting upon a throne with a scepter and crown. The Empress. She represents comfort and prosperity, security, the warmth of the home. She is a mother figure. The protection of parents of their children. That is what you are moving away from, but do not let that frighten you. She unfolds the second card. The Tower. It depicts a huge castle battlement that is currently being besieged by storms with people falling out the windows. The Tower represents a sudden, destructive, but sadly necessary change. Loss and grief. With the potential of a new dawn as the ashes drift away. Your future child. She unveils the third card, and it depicts a knight riding upon a horse-drawn chariot with a great sword in one hand and a shield in the other. The Chariot. From conflict, you will rise assertive, full of self-command, and move to a great victory. This is the future that lies in store for you. A great and wondrous future. And Van Helsing looks at you, Grugan. If she parts with you now. Van Helsing levels her gaze at you. You must give the child to the Temple of the Sun. If she journeys with you further, her life will end. In the Temple of the Sun, she will be taken care of until her true guardian, one wreathed in flame and gifted with steel and iron, will come to lead her to a new life, where she will grow strong, self-assured, and come into a power all her own. This future can only come to pass. She can only become the Chariot if you part with her now. Do you understand?
Grugan just inclines his head and goes, "Yes, I do. I'm no place for a child anyway."
Perhaps not now. But our past is not as set in stone as we think it is, nor is our future.
Wait, you're giving us an out on this kid already? Wow, now this is the fortune that I like.
Jesus fucking
Jesus
Christ.
Christ.
There's just a
damn.
very clear sound of bone elbowing into Flavian.
Man, I love
Stop
you,
it.
you piece of shit. You piece of human garbage. I love you so much.
Grugan,
If Duck had heard that, she would have been like, I'm stealing something else from you now.
Kurgan's gonna look down at Margot and go, you understand what the lady says, right?
She has a very serious look on her face, which is fairly unnatural to see in a 3-year-old. And she nods solemnly, which is even spookier. She knows.
Okay. I'm not gonna leave you by yourself, though. Well, physically, yes, but... He just kind of pauses for a second and puts his hand on his face like, I'm not doing this very well. And then he takes a kind of a curvy dagger out of his belt pouch and gives it to her.
Her eyes go wide, as any kids would be when given a weapon.
Yeah.
I want you to be safe.
She happily accepts it, reverently too. She's not dumb.
I want you to be safe with this. I'm trusting you to know when to use this and when not to.
She nods. I'll take care of it.
I'll take you to people who would take care of you then. And he'll take her hand and go, is everybody coming?
Of course. Gotta make sure our little friend here's doing alright.
Indeed.
I would like to accompany you as well. Make sure the child is seen off correctly. Thank you, Madame Fortune Teller.
Thank you. Some of the things that you said weren't nice to hear. But I'm glad I heard them.
I consider it medicine. It may not be pleasant going down, but hopefully it will heal some things in time.
I have my medicine right here. And Muncher just pulls out a bottle of mead and starts drinking.
Moncher, make a double might check if you would.
Fuck yeah, let's do this thing.
Hold on to your beer.
Yeah. Oh, that's where I want to go. Yes, indeedy. I'm rolling a mic. Submitting.
Jesus
Damn.
shit.
That's a real good check. You manage not to choke when 3 pieces of cardstock paper lodge in your throat.
Monchair just stares at her as he just spits the cards up below and just chews
So the
them.
first card you spit out is I wrote all these down, motherfucker. You're getting them. Is the Sun. The second card is the Hermit, and the third card is the Magician.
Those are all very appropriate.
I'm not gonna have Helsing relay the meanings to you, but you're getting the cards at the very least.
Can you post what the readings were later too?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it right now, actually.
Okay.
Those were the Sun, the Hermit, and
Don't worry, it's gonna be in the loot box real quick.
Okay. Oiling your plans, TT.
An experienced DM, motherfucker. My plans will be unfoiled.
Like,
merely alter the deal. And as the beer-swilled, chewed, dragon spittle-covered cards lie on the ground, Helsing draws 3 from her deck, which are the same 3 in the same order, and shuffles them back in. Just to flex, I suppose.
Oh god, it's like that old, like one of the original YouTube videos where it's David Blaine just making cards appear in increasingly improbable places. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Oh,
It is
makes
exactly
sense.
This is some good readings, TT.
Uh-huh.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I thought that was a fun little thing I could do for you guys with this particular little bit of fan service for me. Is it fan service when it's for the author? Author service?
Self-service.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with
now-
that, you've seen what there is to do in the market district.
Okay.
Yeah, and if she wants, I'll offer Margot like a ride on my shoulders instead of walking to the temple.
She does. Every kid loves to be taller.
Doc can confirm, even though she's no longer a kid.
It's really funny that I have in my notes that goblins view having a tail as a sign of immaturity.
Mm-hmm.
So Duck, despite being fully grown, because she still retains her tail, would just be coded as looking weirdly young. You're the Jenny Nicholson of goblins.
You
Oh,
have
no.
a baby face.
Well, it's probably she just has some troll in her family history.
Or some Grindy Low.
Yeah.
All right, you go to the Temple of the Sun. I could have made maps for all of this, but I decided to be sane. So you go to the Temple of the Sun, and there are a variety of, lack of a better word, we'll call them clerics. It feels a bit too D&D for me, but it's harder to think of a more non-denominational way to describe, people of faith. They have the same sort of tassels, the same sort of like weird long cape. Yeah, monk would be a good word for it. These monks of different sun gods. There's one who has sort of the Mediterranean symbol of Apollo. Sort of built into his very bright and sunny robes. There's another who has the sort of Celtic sun on his robes. Oh God, who is the sun god in Norse mythology? Shit, why am I blanking? There is one, right? There's got to be a Norse sun god. It's not Odin.
Might be
It's
a
not
goddess.
Thor. It might be a goddess. Well,
Oh,
regardless.
Soul.
So
So there's one with robes of Sol. They are all shared by their worship of deities that represent the sun, and there's even a couple in what you might recognize depending on your background in the very primitive robes of the early druids who did not worship gods but rather aspects of nature itself. Ones who do not worship the god of the sun but rather the sun itself, the shining orb in the sky that brings us light and warmth. They see you all approach like, oh, hello, you're very why am I John Cleese? You're very motley crew.
was that middle part?
Is it, I was just thinking about a bard I saw once who it was very funny until he got obsessed with woke nonsense. God. John Cleese, why did you betray us?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Well, because he's old, that's why. Old comedians just age badly. What brings you to the Temple of the Sun? Are you... Okay, I'm doing a different voice. That's hurting my throat.
John Cheese.
Are you here to, pray? We don't have a service scheduled for quite a while.
This young lady here has recently lost most of her family. We were
Cabernet's
told,
fallen.
yeah, We were told to bring her here, and she would be safe until her remaining family could find her.
Philippe nods. Her father and mother have passed away. She is of Francaine now. Ah. It is our duty. It has been some time since we've welcomed an orphan within our doors, but come, child. We have room and board for you. You'll have a pleasant life here, I promise. Not a full life. Her sister is still around and will come for her in time. Yes, of course. The sister's name, description?
Johanna.
Give a description.
Roughly about this tall, with hair like color similar to hers. Probably going to be coming in wearing armor, maybe with some fire motifs. Maybe not.
We don't know that yet.
Hey, I heard the prophecy. I'm trusting the cards.
No, that's true. A guardian clad in reefed in flame and skilled with steel and iron. Very well. Sounds like she will be hard to miss. Well, come, Margot. We have some toys. Do you like toys, child? And she looks at the guy, looks at all of you, and then pulls out the wolf skull from her back and goes, "Wow." We've got better toys than that. Let the child keep the skull. She is fond of it. It is a gift from the Hunters Guild. Well, she doesn't have a knife, so it's not like she's carrying a knife or something, so yeah, that's fine.
Before we leave, I don't know if it's custom to leave an offering, but I would like to if that is something that would help. I have a feeling
We would
that
appreciate
you
it.
might be getting more orphans.
We would very much appreciate it, and the sun shines warmly on those who give to its worship.
And I'll give them 80s in it.
That's
Doc was
good.
honestly thinking of doing the same thing, so she'll chip him up. Match it.
Aw. That's so sweet. I've got to think of a material benefit of that.
I'll do it too. Why not?
I know what happens in war. There's gonna be orphans flooding this place.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, as she is shown away by the monks, Margot de Francaine gives you all one last look and exits our story.
But not her.
Congrats! You saved an orphan!
Yay.
That's how every war should start. She walks away.
Orphan's gonna
Philippe
grow
says,
up to kick a lot of ass someday.
as she goes, Philippe says, "The trauma she has incurred, she will probably not remember much of these last few days, if any at all. But I warrant you, she will remember your kindness. If you have any interest in hunting, please stop by the guild. I have had a thought. I have some business with the guild before I can leave this town, but you seem less attached. I know one member of the nobility who would be very open to hearing the news that you are bringing of this incursion into our territory, and more open to doing something about it. Her name is the Duchess Marion Bluche. She lives in Castle Broach. If you visit her, appeal to her generosity, I think she will prove a valuable ally for you. And perhaps give our respected leaders of the upper class the swift kick in the rear they need to take care of this problem properly.
I've never
for
met her
myself-
personally, but I've passed through there. Stayed there for a bit. would be a valuable ally, I think.
Yes, I will be in that same area soon enough. I will be passing in, specifically into the neighboring town of Jevor. They seem to be having some unknown beasts they are dealing with, and I'm praying it is not a chimera, because chimeras and beasts is very different hunting strategies, and I am much better at the latter than the former, but we shall see.
If we find ourselves passing through, we'll look you up.
Indeed.
And I will hope to cross paths with you again.
Yes.
I could follow you on your travels. It was a pleasure to meet you and help you in what little way I can on your journey. And then he does a nice little salute with his sword cane before sheathing it and says, "You have the respect of Philippe Talbot, hunter of beasts." And then with a swish of his duster, walks back to the Hunters Guild.
Honestly, he might be one of my favorite Francanian humans I've ever met. Anywho's it.
He's a good fellow.
Is the Castle Brioche in town, or is that on the big map?
So, going back to the Big Mac a little bit to say it. So, currently, you are quested to talk to the goblin leadership of this part of Amoragal, which would be the Gnome King of Nine Rouge, the Grumboog, who lives in the stronghold of the Grumbouge, and the Lady of Fright in the huge, expansive bog village of Bete-le-Bel. All of these are to the west. Right? No, the east. God damn it, William, you should know this. They're to the east of the map. Yeah, the west, where China is. Okay, yeah. So they're to the east of the map.
It's the
Right now,
Castle.
you guys are in the west. You're in Alsace, and you're in the southwest specifically. Castle Broche is sort of right in the middle of the map, or close to. So it's kind of very well on the way if you wanted to get to either of those three. Maybe a little out of the way if you were heading to Bete-le-Bel first. But like a direct fucking line if you wanted to hit Nine Rouge first. And if you wanted to hit Champagne, it's just a nice, beautiful little curvy line there, a nice little slant.
That would make
We would
them...
pass through Javor to meet up with Philippe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that looks like a good path to take.
Yeah, and then loop back around after Bete-le-Bel and head to Lutetia, because that's probably where the whole thing is going to be mustered, because biggest population center.
Yeah, there's likely going to be a big thing going down in Lutetia.
And I spent time in the underground goblin settlements. There's a lot of us down there, so
Mm-hmm.
And it's the most rich city around here, so that's number one place they're going to want to pillage.
The great goblin market city of Pingus lies underneath Lutetia.
I forgot about Pingus.
God damn it, TT.
Pingus.
I know peeps down in Pingus.
Peeps down in Pingus.
Down to Pingus Town.
If I do recall correctly, listening in on that conversation that our wonderful friend Flavian here was having, apparently, though, the head forces of the Bretons thing are up in Champagne, which is on the way.
Champagne?
Champagne.
All turning into Brannigans.
Well,
Champagne is specifically based on how that man can pronounce champagne.
It's the best way, you mean?
Yes.
Champagne.
Do you like this bottle of champagne? And then when I named a town that's why wine became a theme naming for a lot of the Francane towns. And then I was like, you know what goes with wine and with France? Cheese. And so that produced most of the rest. And there's a couple that buck the tradition, because there should be some that have names that actually represent what they are.
Next stop is Champagan after we're done here.
Yep. So you have a quest from Ross Weber. Deal with some nasty revenants in the forest.
All right, the ugly guys.
Yep, the ugly people. There's also Pierre Rancine has some stock he could buy. There is a playhouse, there's a carpenter, and there's an herbalist and an archery range, and those exist for reasons. And of course, if you want to have an interlude scene, you can rest up and recover some stuff, you can stop at the inn.
Should we, since we're here, should we stop at the playhouse and then just go west?
West. Thank you for picking that up from me. Why are there two munchers?
Now the cardinal directions in Midgahheim are West, Est, Nauf, and Sorf.
God.
I'm not going to make that canon, but it is a funny joke for the moment. Oh, great! There's a second Arthur on the map too.
Not the flag.
So,
A ravening beast. It's a shame I cut the ravening beast out of my my D20 assets, because I could just put him down here to stop this nonsense. The Playhouse. You see some local actors sort of milling about, running practices. Here, you can spend time with the local actors to learn some skills in subterfuge and deception by way of body language and modulating your voice, which will give you a +4 bonus to checks made to pretend to be someone else.
Interesting.
Shady.
I don't know why there was a second Muncher, but I'm rolling with it.
And you know what's sad? If they had this many Munchers in Ghostbusters Afterlife 2, Electric Boogaloo, people would have actually seen that movie, you know? That's the problem.
No.
They've neglected the Muncher demographic.
Yeah. They're all the worst for it, to be honest.
Does the training cost any money or anything?
No, you just get to do it.
Okay.
I like the idea of filling up towns with people who know trades and crafts and having that actually be useful to stuff. And, it allows you to get specific bonuses in Fabula Ultim, which is a thing that you're supposed to do anyway.
Muncher swarm lurch across the map is funny.
Yeah, I'm gonna show this on stream because it's fucking hilarious. Go ahead and move your munchers.
Because they don't move all in unison.
Alright, so... Okay. There you go, there's your taste of, shenanigans.
We look like we're laying siege to the playhouse.
We are.
So the acting training is +4 to checks involving subterfuge and deception, pretending to be
It is
someone else.
+4 to checks specifically made to pretend to be someone else. Whether you're and it doesn't have to be a specific someone else. It can just be like, trying to pretend that you're not Flavian. So it can be like, modulating your voice so you don't sound like yourself, or, just in general, like, acting and all that. Any situation where you have to convincingly make someone believe that you are not who you actually are. Any situation where you need acting talent.
Pretty good for all you guys with your glamours.
Yeah.
Because a glamour only goes so far. A glamour only goes so far. If you still sound really gruff while looking like a twink, people are going to raise some eyebrows.
Is that appropriate there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where I put it in my notes too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a nice way to help you out with that. Just because I think maybe there'll be some situations where you need to convincingly lie.
Well, Duck's thinking, oh, this will be helpful for my thievery, my crimes.
And like, in D&D, you could like say, I put points in my deception skill. I bought a disguise kit. And those don't exist in Fabula Ultima, but I was like, this is a way to work with the Fabula Ultima mechanics and make the town feel a bit more fleshed out, and help you out a little bit. It's me looking out for you.
Thank you. I love it.
Also, I like the idea of stopping by the playhouse and picking up some good tricks and skills.
Tricks and
Check out the carpenter next.
The carpenter is currently at work building a carriage, which seems designed to be pulled by like two animals, like a horse or whatever, and hold about 5 or 6 people plus luggage. Something nice for traveling long distances.
Gee.
That's
It'd be
too bad
handy
you
to
got
have one
9
too.
more people than that carriage will handle.
Yeah.
Yeah, big sad.
Just kind of nudge Flavian. It's like, all right, you're up. That would be very useful for traveling.
Yeah, that would. Ah, my good carpenter. That's some fine craftsmanship you got there.
Oh, thank you. I think I'm making a very good carriage. I don't know why he's Edwin. I already made Pierre Edwin a little bit, but this is like full Edwin. Yes, it's a lovely carriage. I can't wait until that rich merchant from Cabernet comes to pick it up.
We really gotta, get the word out.
Cabernet, you say? How much exactly was he offering for you?
Why, he was paying a good 400 gold pieces. That's Zenit in-game currency for this carriage.
Duck looks to Grogan. Why does everyone keep saying that? It makes no sense.
That regional thing?
Humans.
Now, consider this. What if, perhaps, we took that off you for 500 zenits, and we'll assure you that you'll never run into trouble with the original buyer in terms of your fulfilling the contract?
Well, that's 100 zenit more than I thought I'd make. Why, my good friend, that would be a deal.
Excellent.
Oh, nice. Fuck that man, his wife, and his beautiful family of 5 wonderful kids.
Oh boy.
And so you guys get a carriage, which, now makes camping and traveling a little bit easier.
Hell
100
yeah.
each from us.
100 each.
Yeah. Flavian's
Okay.
not making himself pay it all alone.
The main thing is that it gives you a hiding spot, so resting safely is easier so long as you have bedrolls and the like. And it also allows for fast travel to places you've already been.
We just need to get some steeds.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so sorry if there's buzzing. There's people. There's
I'm not hearing
weed
it.
whacking. Okay.
I haven't heard anything.
There's someone using a weed whacker in the front yard, and they're right out my window.
I'm chasing the dragons.
A flight of dragons, all armed with bottled meat,
God.
fermenting it.
Could you imagine like 9 scrunts?
I don't think Midgeheim would survive.
They could slap everything to pieces.
Unless
To be fair, at this moment on this map, since he's glamoured, it's 5 men who are flapping their shields to fly.
the herbalist, when you enter there's a wizard in sort of brown and forest green robes, working with various herbs. And reverence in the forest, guys. Damn it, Jesus fucking shit. I mean, so much of this goddamn fucking cure. Christ in a bucket. sort of muttering to himself as he's assembling various potions.
Excuse me, sir. You got a minute?
Oh, listen, if you're looking for a love potion or a rise of the snake potion, I don't really have the time to make those at the moment. You're just gonna have to figure out how to pleasure your wife on your own time.
Yeah.
I haven't seen my wife in years.
Holy shit, that's a sad thing to tell a stranger.
Well, it's the truth, so I just wanted to get you off that kind of a path of thinking.
Dear
we're-
God, I apologize. It's just
Yeah.
the most common request. Wow, okay. Let's redo this. Hi, I'm an herbalist. What can I do for you?
Hi, we're exploring in town, and we're wondering what wares you had for sale.
Listen, right now I'm kind of busy. There's talk of walking corpses in the woods, and if there's walking corpses, they're gonna start biting people. I mean, those people are gonna die and become walking corpses unless I get everyone these preventative salves that make sure that the bite doesn't make the person die and keeps us from having a huge explosion of corpses on our hands. So I really have to get busy making sure I got all these set correctly so we can decrease the number of corpses walking about eating people.
Does that actually happen?
And like Art turns back, does a hand wave. What if I told you we were going out to go take care of the corpses that are trying to bite people?
I'd say, do you have any of my salves? Because otherwise they're gonna rip your fucking face off. I mean, all it takes is one bite and bam, you're bedridden for 2 days, you die of a fever, and then you come back and you eat your nanny.
I don't have any of your salve. Could I get some of your salve? Me and my companions here. Just in case.
Yeah, I've been making a lot of it. You know, this has happened a couple of times before in other towns where I was an herbalist, and they didn't make enough salve, and soon enough the whole place is overrun, and they got to call the knights in and burn the whole thing to the ground. It's awful. So I don't want that happening here. I like Alsace. You got an inn. It's got very good food for an inn in a town this size. Just say it's not great food, but it'll do. Anyways, I've got some. I don't want to deal with you shambling in here and being like, "Ugh." So here, free on the house. I've already got like 50 of the goddamn things.
Thank you. I really appreciate the kindness, and we're gonna go help take care of that problem, so you don't have to.
Please
make
do.
something.
I would much rather go back to helping people who still see their wives and are not horrifically divorced as you seem to be, or God forbid, widowed.
Unfortunately, it's a little more the latter. Sorry.
Oh, gee. Jeez and Pete, dude. You are a downer.
Do you provide any other services or provisions?
I can make you a good number of potions. You tell me what you want, and I can jimmy up some things. Give me a couple days, and I can get you a very nice potion for most ordinary ills and several extraordinary ones.
Now, how about a potion that if, say, someone is ingested or, gets it in their bloodstream, that person, it's a bad potion.
You want like a potion to make a thing throw you up when it swallows you? Is that what you're saying?
Poison. Not potion.
Oh, you just
poison.
want poisons.
Yes.
I mean,
I was trying to make a clever joke, but
no, I get you. It's just there's a hunters guild here, and a number of them do routinely get swallowed by things that are capable of swallowing a human person in one bite. So they actually the make the creature that swallowed me throw up potion is actually a fairly common request. Poisons,
okay,
we
I'll
can do
take
poisons.
that one too. The shortest one in the group says.
Yeah, I can whip some of that up for you. Some poisons. I'm not the best apothecary in the world, but I can get you some nasty poisons. Yeah, sure.
Excellent.
Just you make sure this revenant problem's taken care of, and I'll get those done for you. Too sweet.
Excellent.
Out of character, I'm really tempted to ask him if he has pills for people who are mostly dead.
Mostly dead is somewhat alive. I was about to say, thanks to Billy Crystal for voicing this character on the spot. Didn't plan for that to be his voice, but then it just came out and I was like, you know what? This is right.
This man feels like a Miracle Max.
He's a bit of a Miracle Max, and I am doing a little bit of a Billy Crystal now that it's going. So all right. Yeah, you've got your deal with the herbalist.
Onto the archery range.
What?
So archery range once per day, i.e. once before you sit down for the night and do a little interlude scene and start a new day in game. You can go to the archery range and practice with a specific type of weapon. It doesn't just have to be ranged weapons. And become proficient in that weapon regardless of whether it's martial or not. But like only that type of weapon. So you can go in here and practice with swords, but that's not going to let you like be proficient with a martial axe or what have you. So it's a very specific little game breaky bonus to extend your range of weapons at your disposal.
I've already got
Well,
martial weapons, so I'm pretty good.
I could do it to have like martial abilities with bows.
Yeah. Which normally is restricted to like sharpshooter classes, I think.
Yeah. Okay, I'll do that.
I've got proficiencies with all the weapons right now, so we good. I guess Art's just helping people learn, like, alright, you do it this way, and you do it like that. No, don't do it like that, you'll break your hand.
Aw, that's nice. Alright.
Actually,
And I guess-
I might have Duck train in the rapier.
Nice! Yeah, get good with rapiers. And if we have finished our business in Alsace,
Did we want to do a rest first?
you can if you want.
I think we're probably good.
Yeah, we haven't really gotten hurt or anything.
Yeah, we can get our interlude scene after we go kill some ugly man in the woods. It's our first quest all over again.
Good times.
Alright, find yourself starting here, at this nice forest path. There's one branch here, and a branch down here.
So,
Up or down?
that's a good question. I think up's gonna be for more sneaky stuff. If we want to do more sneaky, like.
Well, you're the one with the past military training and all, so if that's where you want to go.
Well, my thought process is if we go down the main path here to the south, it's really open and clear, and like at this point he's gonna drop the glamour if he has one already. He's like, and as the walking corpse among us here, I'm gonna be real with you. Most of them in the kind of situations they're currently in are not the brightest. So they would be like, oh hey, food in an open field, and it's easier for them versus going in the woods where there's branches and things in the way.
Well, I have no objections to that.
Up first sounds fine. I'm also gonna drop the glamour,
Mm-hmm.
Same.
just because.
So we're going up top?
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Hello.
Alright. Roll initiative, gang.
already.
Yeah, they're probably thinking they...
Should have
Five
bought that.
hideous corpses swarm out of the crevices of the woods at the sound of you tromping through the undergrowth, with arms outstretched and mouths agape as they reach for your tender living flesh.
I'm glad that's only an initiative roll.
Well, luckily, you guys won the initiative roll off because, shocker of shocker, Romero-style zombies don't have the highest initiative score.
Did we slather ourselves up?
Yeah, I'm assuming.
Okay.
I'm gonna use high speed to just take first pot shot.
All right. Yeah, do that shit.
Oh yeah, Monsieur. They probably won't even be able to hit you since you can fly.
Your attack hits, and you shoot a bolt at this revenant that hits it square in the mushy white eye, and it sort of staggers and stumbles around as you've done significant but not enough damage to its brain.
The hands are what we want, everyone.
Fair enough. Best to take out their mouths too. I think it's their turn.
No, that was
Oh.
his free pot shot.
Oh,
Ah.
right. The free pot shot. I forgot about that.
Yeah,
Does
we
anyone mind
gotta-
if I go?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Cool. So I'm gonna drop 10 MP, and we're gonna do a charging cavalry. So, who wants to go first in technical hitting? Who wants a free attack?
Does anybody have anything that can hit multiples?
Not really, no.
Negative.
Just my spell, but I don't think dark damage is going to do much against them.
They're undead, so it shouldn't.
Fair enough. Do you want me to hit
So,
him?
yeah, go ahead, Grugan. Why not?
Is everybody
So you
cool
get a
with that?
bonus. I guess so. You get a bonus of 2 to hit. But your high roll counts as 0 when calculating damage for the free attack.
Okay. So then this plus 2, so 12.
Nice. That
So
hits.
So it would just be 14 damage.
And you destroy one revenant. Wait, you said it would just be 14 damage?
It would just be the 14. The high roll doesn't count.
Okay. Never mind.
But I can do Crushing Chariot, and have Grugan hit for real, or I can have someone else hit for real.
I'd say Grugan.
Let's go, Grugan. Crush him, Grugan. Get that kill.
Right, I'll murder. Now it's probably dead.
Yeah, it's definitely dead now. Alright. One zombie reaches for Flavian. One revenant, I should say. Zombie's a voodoo word that they would not use in Midgard. Okay. Does 11 hit you?
Let me double check. It ties, so yes.
Alright, you take 12 physical damage as it grips you with its horrible rictus talons, I guess. Its bony, clammy, oddly strong hands, and tries to pull you towards its mouth while also rending your flesh a bit. That good thing.
Laugh me!
Ooh, I leaked all over my keyboard.
Wait, what did you do? What, to your
Don't worry
keyboard?
about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Listen, sometimes when you're having fun making zombie noises, a little drool comes out. It's fine. fine. It's fine. Don't prod it. He did his turn. What if you go?
I already did.
Right. If none of you want to do anything at the moment, Flavian's just gonna try to shoot off the zombie. Or the.
Go ahead. Wow, that hits. God, that's so close to being enough to kill one. You've got two that are like a couple hit points away.
Oh, you're really making me wonder how much HP they have now.
They have 20. They have 20 HP apiece.
Well, now I know what to do next time.
Okay. Another one's gonna come out, and one's gonna go for Moncher.
I fly.
And it fails to hit you because you're flying. But it does swing at you like, "Arr!" Like you're playing keep away with it.
The snack that bites back in the case of Moncher.
Alright. So, seeing that happen, Moncher is going to respond in kind and try to just bop that one.
I pop him.
Bop him. Get some help.
Yeah,
But yeah, I'm going to just flavor that as Moncher just drops down, hits them with his wings, and then flaps back up.
We've got 3 very near death, and the 4th attacks Art, which I think is funny. Zombie on zombie violence. And misses, I assume.
Oh yeah, no, that misses. I'm assuming it's like the Revenant's mount, and he's like, "Really, mate?"
Am I the
How-
last one? Oh, sorry.
No, you're good.
Bonk.
It's really good. I'm going to say you kill one of the ones this week, just for my benefit.
Yeah, going after one of the ones trying to chomp on Flavian.
And our last unbloodied zombie is going to dream big and attack Rugen.
No.
And miss.
God damn it, it didn't roll a fucking... Ah.
They're so brainless, they can't even round.
TT, your last 3 rolls have had a 1 in each of them.
That's appropriate for zombies.
That's their full attack, right? They don't have any bonuses with that.
Yeah. They're very easy low level enemies.
That's fair. I was just hoping for a counterattack.
The last set that you're gonna get, it's gonna get mean next time. Anyways, I think they're out of turns.
So are we, I think.
All right, then we're back to the top.
I can go if people want, because I got that sweet, I let other people go.
Phew.
Where do you want to save onto your MP? Because I think we'll probably take these guys out
Yeah,
just
they-
on our own.
Yeah, they're almost down, I think.
That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also do just have attacks.
Yeah.
Let's just hit him. Just in case we run into something bigger in the woods.
Literally, the ones that you have left. I think the one at the highest HP is 5.
Oh yeah, then no, we'll save that. We'll just go ahead and
Oh, I'm sorry for that.
it's fine.
Ouch.
Oh no!
I get a fabula point, I think, if I
You
since the fumble.
you do have a fabulous point. You faced a villain earlier today, so
You can't re-roll a critical fail. That's 2 1s. Snake eyes.
that is true. Well,
But you get a fabula ultimate point when you make a fumble like that. So
Which is nice.
okay, and I get an opportunity, which I'm going to say you are shaken. because you briefly, like, as you try and fail to hit this corpse, you're confronted with your own mortality, as it were, or rather the post-mortality. And you realize that this slathering, mindless thing is not too dissimilar from you in shape and function. Is this what you will become? You know so little about your status as an undead thing. Enjoyed that existential dread as one of these guys goes to attack Mon Cher.
I can't.
Does 4 hit you?
It can't because he's
Yeah.
flying.
No, that's right. He's flying. It's a zombie. It's too dumb to know that.
It's different.
It's not, and it's not a Stubbs type zombie that can pull out its own organs and chuck them.
Nope, it's a full-on Romero type zombie. Sorry, Revenant.
Okay. I'm gonna attack this one in front of me if nobody minds.
Yeah.
Okay.
Eat dead.
Hooray!
The one wrenching Flavian tries to wrench him some more. Does 11 hit you?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, you take 13 physical damage as it rips into you a bit more.
That. Oh no.
That hits.
Oh, okay. Whichever one was the most injured.
He got
It
the
is
one off of
destroyed.
Flavian's face.
Yeah,
All the
off
Revenants have gone. So it's just the remaining of you. Do your attacks and see if we end this one.
I think it's Moncher.
Okay.
Not sure.
I'll go in.
Flavian. Dang.
Jesus.
Gets up. He is a undead predator, essentially.
Yeah.
All right.
Hooray.
So,
It's awful, awful things. Just get their hands for me, please.
Hmm. So, TT.
Yeah.
Would Duck know that normally it's the left hand that you make a hand of glory out of?
Yes, but you also know that Ross Weber required both hands of each one.
Yeah, so it's just like, okay, doubles our profit for us when we can only make use out of the other half.
Listen, there's a lot of good uses for a Revenant hand. It's not just Hands of Glory that I'm making, maybe.
Oh, God,
Who even said I was making Hands of Glory? I didn't say that. You said that.
oh my God, he's Beetlejuice.
Yeah, Bug Cthulhu suggested that when I showed the Ross Weber design and character pitch, and I was like, yeah, he's got to be Beetlejuice now. I can't unhear it now that I've thought about it, so here we are.
So, Duck will help Monsieur, because I'm sure Monsieur has experience chopping up.
Mm-hmm.
Art is in the middle of a 1,000-yard stare of an existential crisis.
So that was 5 for 10 hands.
In hand.
Don't mind me. Just little wounded over here. Here, I'll just take one of these remedies real quick.
Moncher will suddenly just put a hand right in front of Flavian's face. Need a hand?
Whoa.
Shut up! Flavian lost 2/3 of his HP in that battle.
Take yourself a potion, kid. You've earned it.
Yeah, I spent 3 IP to do a remedy.
Alright. As you guys go through the clearing, having wiped out 5 revenants, you come into a more open section of the woods and can hear, intermixed with the sound of the wind howling through the trees, more moaning. Pained as though uttered by people on death's door, through torn throats and ragged phlegm-filled lungs. Just this horrible as a chorus howling through the trees.
More of these awful, awful things.
Particular direction.
Kind of everywhere. Like as you walk through, you can hear it behind you, up to the north, up to the west.
Weast!
Yeah,
To
we got
to
10
the
already.
store.
Sorry.
Maybe we forget about getting any more. What do you guys think, huh?
No.
There's this many in the woods, we don't want to just leave them here.
Just think of the profits, Flavian. Just think of the profits.
You will be taking a lot of that guy's gold.
Yeah,
Now, this is going to sound a little messed up, but maybe we shouldn't clear them out and maybe lure them in the path of, the army.
Wouldn't that just lead to more revenants rampaging through the countryside, and then instead of having to deal with the rampaging army,
I
they
mean,
deal with the
it would be
rampaging
more about taking out. I really doubt they'd be able to take out a whole army. It would be more about forcing the army to put down a portion of their own military.
You'd have
But
to
that
risk
might be a
bait-
little too risky.
You'd have to risk baiting them and getting them anywhere close to a village. But I don't know if this is fully like those guys. Sounds a little more haunted.
I'm in part because it's 9:45. I'm gonna let you guys roll an insight might check to sleuth out the remaining insight might. It's a group check, so nominate someone to be the leader, and everyone else will be able to contribute to the check depending on whether they get a success. So the leader, you got to do a DC of, let's say, 12. Everyone else, you got to be 10 or higher to add to the check. If you succeed it,
D6, so I'm not going to be the leader.
I've got a debuff currently on my not on these might and insight.
Insight might. Yeah.
might and insight.
I got 6.
I have.
So we're not nominating Shady as leader for this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a 6 in might, so I shouldn't.
Same.
I think I have a 10 in both of those. Yeah.
I have a D8 in both, so
Yeah,
go ahead.
Gurgan should roll.
This is when I roll like shit. So.
Yeah, I rolled a 6 as well. Jesus. Wait, we rolled the same thing, Shady.
Isn't there
Art,
something about?
that's so close to adding a 1. That's so close to being enough.
Hey, could I spend a fabula point and re-roll one of those D8s?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna re-roll one
Yeah.
a 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a 14.
Okay, so that adds 1 to whatever
Oh.
Grugan's roll is.
I'm going to spend the
Seriously?
fabula point.
Yeah,
and-
Duck.
I'm sorry, and I'm sure this will kind of throw things out, but I have to use it. I've got a crit fail this one.
Okay.
You're gonna gain a fabula point to do that?
2 fabula points because I'm cursed.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Well,
Oh,
That's gonna-
man.
Oh, I feel bad now. Can I say no?
no, you're fine. Okay. So, we started rolling pretty quick. So this check was basically to sort of flush them all out. And deal with them all in one fell swoop, but because you chose to crit fail that, while everyone else was genuinely successful, you were successful in flushing them out. The problem is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 groups of 5 revenants, so 30 revenants in total, have all come out of the woodwork, the literal woodwork, to say hello to you in a zombie fashion.
I fucked up, guys.
Okay. How do I make this same for me?
I
Well,
hope no one's
firstly,
upset at me.
we're in a battle. And you know what? It's 5. We'll just make each group of 6 revenants one enemy that is sufficiently higher stats than a normal revenant. That's how we'll make it for me.
You do like 50
Okay.
HP or something.
All
Guys,
right.
it's
So
three.
we're gonna fight a swarm of revenants all at once.
This is actually kind of cool.
Yeah, actually, a full fucking horde of Romero zombies comes out of the woodwork to tear you all limb from limb.
Can I flavor it a little bit?
Mm-hmm.
As everyone's like doing, drying out some of the other ones, it's just all of a sudden there's the crashing of Jack bursting through the underbrush going, guys, I fucked up. All right here.
Okay.
Would I still be under the shaken from the last combat?
Yes.
I hope I didn't fuck us over.
No, you're fine. This is a much more spectacular end, I think, than having to weed out like all of those groups individually.
Feels like it has good narrative build up.
All right, you got 5 hordes of 6 revenants apiece coming at you from all angles. You guys won the initiative roll off because even large horde, they are still fucking Romero zombies. Not the quickest on their feet. Who would like to go first?
I'm going to use high speed.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to remember, what can a hinder action do?
That is a good question, and I also do not fully remember.
I think that's the stats, but let me check real quick.
Does it buff the stats or debuff the stats? Because I feel like hinder would be
Hinder's
fuck your
debuff,
stats.
But we have it up here somewhere, don't we?
And if I can find it in the book, too.
You can perform a check DL10 against an opponent. If you succeed, you inflict dazed, shaken, slow, or weak upon them.
Nice. That'll be useful, actually.
Okay. I feel like giving that a try.
Delete.
But I'm trying
Because
to
I just-
rationalize in my head on how it makes sense, and I don't know if I can come up with that.
Well, I mean, one of the stats is might, so it might just be that you do a shot that, while it doesn't horribly damage their brains and thus put them on the point of death. Because remember, they're Romero zombies. It does hit their muscles enough to make them less mighty, or less dexterous.
Yeah, so I want to try to weaken them. What do I roll for that?
I think you just roll an attack, and if it's successful, you do it.
Yep, it has to beat a a challenge rating of 10. Gotta be a 10 or higher.
So standard challenge rating.
Yeah, it's under Fabula Ultima Docs, under crit successes and fumbles, and list of actions. So yeah.
You have successfully hindered one horde of zombies.
Okay.
Which stat are you attacking?
A might.
Excellent, smart move.
And weak on them.
Especially because that horde attacks you in turn. Does 4 hit you?
No!
Well, sucks for them. As they try to bite you and fail miserably.
Isn't that the free action he gets at the start of the round?
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit. Oh. Then I guess you guys get an attack.
Let's go.
I guess you get 2 attacks, because technically one of you should have gone before the zombies.
I have a spell I could try, and it would probably take out at least 5 of them for a turn.
Fuck yeah, do it.
Not physically, but for my last level up.
That hits. Oh shit, so that's one horde cannot act?
Yep.
Okay, nice.
Just kind of slow them in a little bit of time magic.
Another one of you gets to go, because we technically already had a zombie turn.
Okay. I'll go so I can give Grunion another good little bit. Spend another 10. And then activate that wonderful ability that my class has. I'm really liking Commander.
It's fun.
Grugan hit one of the swarms.
Okay.
Oh. If only Art had a scythe, you could be recreating the card that you were fortune. Death mowing through the fields of the dead.
It's true. Alas, I've just got a funky spear.
That hits. And you do a significant chunk of damage to that horde.
And then... Hey, Grugan, you haven't gone this turn, right?
Right.
There you go.
I'll
We'll skip a horde.
hit the same one, I guess.
Nice. You do significantly more damage. One could say that with those 2 blows, you have managed to cut 2 of the zombies down.
Damn.
That comprise the 6 that make up the full horde.
Yeah, this swarming.
Yep. Well, one's going to attack. Grugan. Wow, they rolled like shit.
Hey, they don't have brains.
It fails. It turns out a bunch of corpses desperately pawing at a giant boar man clad in armor aren't super effective.
Alita, why would you show me?
They don't even get the boar nipples.
Why would you show me this, Alita? That's mean.
Shady, you've got a hard cutoff at 10.
Yeah, but I can keep going until we finish this battle scene.
All right.
Who next?
Well, the zombies just went and failed, so it's one of you
Take a
remaining.
shot at him. I'm gonna shoot at the same one that Grugan was messing with.
Fuck yeah. That hits. Does pretty damn good damage, too.
Dang, doesn't reduce him to 0.
That's really close, but no. Zombie's gonna attack Art. Jesus Christ. Are they fucking ruled by Malus? What the hell?
Yeah, they are.
This is Malus's army in the future, but people have kind of forgotten, so it's just kind of.
They're just as effective. I will never not take an opportunity to make fun of Malus. I hate her so much. You have no fucking idea.
Hey, y'all joke, but if their forces combined, they could roll a 2.
Who still has to go from us?
On Sherry, I think.
Gonna swipe at the one that's almost dead.
All right. One horde is off the board. And it's not even the one that's been debuffed. I think we got one horde left. Hey, Moncher, does 12 hit you?
No,
No, because you're flying. Oh, hilarious. All right, back to the top.
Damn. Who would like to go?
Just real quick, TT, do we know if them being undead means that dark won't really work against them?
Well, double
That
insight
is-
check.
Double insight.
Mm-hmm. So the dark element of magic, which is fire magic taken to its most potent extreme, the magic of just pure destruction and death. It does have an effect on the undead. We're not quite with Final Fantasy rules, because it destroys things utterly. It's the magic of demons, and demons kind of break all rules in their own favor. So yeah, dark magic will work fine on them.
Okay, then should I try nuking them?
Nuke them.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, spending 30 for max damage,
Fuck yeah.
almost max damage.
Fuck yeah, very nice. To all of them?
Up to it says up to 3, so as many as I can hit.
So pick 3 of the 4 remaining hordes. Okay. Do you want to exclude the debuffed horde just so that the weakest is the one left standing if we pulverize the
sure.
rest this turn?
Yeah.
All right. Excellent. Speaking of the weak horde, does 14 hit you, Doug? Wait, 13 hit you, Doug.
Let me see. I believe it does. Where's my? No, 17.
Damn. Nice.
Nimble.
And you are fine
think
as they try to rend you limb from limb and fail. Just too slippery.
Yeah, it's the comedic thing of I'm just start darting between their legs.
All right, one of you is next.
I'll take another shot. One of the ones
That
that
hits.
was hit by Umbra.
Nice. looking very ragged. That same horde attacks you! And fails, I think.
Yes. Huh. They're not very good at fighting in numbers.
Fuck you!
No, mate, I'm good.
Why is your face? I'm kidding, they can't actually talk. Or can they?
Well, I will go
I.
if,
Oh, go ahead.
unless you wanted to do something.
Well, I can go and then do a repeat of what I did last time, and then have either you or Monshare go since we're hitting that time.
Okay.
So we'll just roll that again. Monshare, are you there? Would you like to punch some zombies?
Punch,
Sure,
punch,
why
punch.
not?
Oh,
He did the munch.
The
You don't
Monshare punch.
Munchy munch. Okay, I think that destroys one of our hordes.
And then, because of the other ability of Commander, of Crushing Chariot, my lovely, lovely Crushing Chariot, Monshare, would you like to try to destroy another horde?
Yeah, why the fuck not? Bruh.
Well, that hits. Doesn't do a whole lot of damage, but it hits.
Can't believe the claws did more than the wings.
They're zombies. They don't really watch over themselves. I think you killed the horde that hadn't gone yet, so I think the rest is you guys this round.
I'll hit the. Yep. Whatever horde
Well,
was.
yeah,
over.
that hits. Okay. Yeah. All right. 2 hordes left. 1 man leaves.
Being able to hit this hard really kicks ass, by the way.
Yeah.
That's it, everyone? Everyone go? Were we at the start of the round?
I think so.
Mhm.
All right. 2 hordes left.
I'll take a shot at the weakest one.
That hits. Does some very... yeah, that's enough vet hordes out of here.
Oh,
We
good.
got 1 horde left.
I regained 2 IP.
Why did, okay, so 9 plus 8. 17. Does that hit Flavian? It
Yes.
hits you. You take 24 physical damage as the horde rends you with its horrible hands.
Ow!
Yeah, that was 2/3 of his HP.
Yeah, Hochi Mochi.
You healed before.
Luckily, that's their 1 attack this round. Beat the shit out of them.
Okay, I will. Unless anybody else wants to go first, but I'm gonna fuck these guys.
Get him. Devils.
I know that's not a very high roll, but that still hit.
Yeah, I think that's actually enough. Congrats! You killed my greatest phobia in high school!
Woo!
The zombie apocalypse is averted. And you've saved the town of Alsace and have gained
60 hands.
70, because there was that first grouper, you remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
70 Revenant hands in total that you can sell to Ross Weber for 200 Zenit apiece.
Jesus.
Quite the pretty payday, eh?
just twitching from all the zombie attacks, revenant attacks.
Fucking. Alright.
That was. Sorry, Flavian. I'm. My bad.
Yeah, just
Sympathetic cat where there's not a bite wound.
tell me about all the money we'll make. That's all I need to hear right now.
Well,
Oh, you think because he's your rival, he sent you out here in the woods to die, and now he's gonna have to pay you so much fucking money?
He better. He better.
Well, it would be an absolute shame if you had a secret revenant on your hands that you could, make a gesture to who could spook him.
That's true.
Absolute shame if you had one of those.
plus I can then just round him.
But also, we saw Monshare punch him, and that didn't really work out. So I don't know if I trust the whole aggressive route with Ross all that much.
He doesn't know what I can do. I don't know what I can do.
You listen to the woods for a moment, and other than the faint whistling of the wind through the trees, it is calm and quiet.
Alright, I think that was everything.
Wonder who the poor saps were, though.
Do they have any possessions on them, or are they all just too rotten? Really?
As you look at them, they're a lot of them are wearing tabards, tattered leather and hide armor. They look to be fairly old soldiers, probably from like the Wars of Conquest era. These are corpses that are a few centuries, perhaps even millennia old.
Okay, I was afraid you were going to say that this was Arthur's old marching, buddies.
Oh, no. We made it farther in than this.
Yeah, so, and they're wearing old uniforms, but Frankish uniforms. These are the dead of the island. Not those who are entombed in the place of the hallowed dead, but still they are people who died here, fought for here, risen for some reason and restless. As you leave the woods, none of you except Arthur hear this last sound echoing faintly through the trees.
I'll look back, I suppose.
You see nothing. The sound stops. But for a moment you think that the voice sounded a bit familiar. Perhaps just a little bit pompous. But it's probably nothing.
I never did find out what happened to that Git. And with that, he just follows his friends back into town.
All right. And you're back in Alsace.
Is it
with
time to end for Shady, or
it's time to end for Shady, yeah.
Yeah.
We can just say you cash in with Ross Weber, and start with an interlude next time, I believe.
Okay.
Nice.
If we would like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So make sure that you all figure out the math on how much gold you got, and also whether you leveled.
Okay.
oh, yeah, we should have.
Just from starting the session, we would have been at 12.
Yeah.
And then
How
there
many-
was 3
Next
fabulous
time.
points used.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And next time, gang, we're gonna meet Flavian's dad.
Yeah.
Oh.
Good night, everybody.